Alright, got something new right here on the saw. This is a return switch, and that causes this to stop right here as it stopped before I hit the switch. And that's like a little limit, and what that is that's wired underneath the table over to here. And this switch right here, I'm going to put it on cut. You're going to watch this go up to here, and then whenever I hit the return, it turns off over there. So I didn't hit the switch. Again, it's still in the return mode. And of course, there's 3 positions: return, off, and then cut. So whenever I get ready to cut a log, it'll go all the way up here, the sled will, without me having to push the button and hold it. And it'll come up here, and then when it reaches to this point here, this limit switch right here will trip, and it'll shut the winch off. And then I put this guard here to keep me from dropping a board or whatever on top of it, and that the sled comes in underneath that, so it works that way. You can buy a box of those, pretty reasonable. Way I wired this is I bought another adapter cord like this, and it basically fits the same as this one. And this is they sent me another one of these, and then a female socket as well to go with that. So I just took the cord and I cut this end off this right here on my other one, and I left this one just in case something fails, I still can get that to work. But anyway, then I wire that back over to here, and it comes into the box right here, and it comes up here and wires in, and then, you know, I've got it wired, and then these limit switches, they go out and control the wires that work in this common and the 2 travelers. So the limits actually just open up the traveler wires, and that works out good. That saves me quite a bit of time in cutting on this. When you run this log through and you cut it, you get what you call a cant, and that's where you cut 4 sides off of this log. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 sides being cut off of the log, and then that leaves you a square blank, and square, you know, just a square. Like in this case, it'd probably be about a 5 by 5, you know, board, and then that's where you cut your boards out of. One thing about this setup, for example, on this log, I've seen some of the guys that use clamps. Well, the problem with the clamps is they won't probably reach out this far. So, you know, you use screws if you have you know, some pretty rough logs with lots of branches coming off of it, like cedar does. And then you're almost going to need the reach of a long screw, where you can put a spacer in there and get it. Whereas if you got like a little bar clamp coming out here, it's most likely not going to reach out in here. It might, but anyway, so I use the screws, and we're cutting most of that stuff off anyway. So, but anyway, here's the limit boxes, and they're doing good. I've got this on a gimbal that I'm using, and so to try and keep the shaking down. So anyway, I'm ready to, you know, resaw another log. These are 47-inch logs, and you know, my stack keeps getting higher. By the time I get done with that log, it'll be almost up to the table saw. Maybe not. It'll be a couple levels up. I'll probably get about 4 or 5 boards out of that one, so it'll come up. But anyway, that's all solid. There's no stickers in there yet. They'll get stickered when I get ready to store them, and it's been cold, and so that wood's not really moving a whole lot. I need to vacuum it and then re-sticker it, and so that it won't mold. So, worn winch. I kept this in the play, and then of course that goes down to a battery charger, and this is a 200 amp charger, which is basically on a timer, and it could do 200 amp 12 volt, or do 100 amp at 6 volt. So, you know, that's kind of what I got going on there. So anyway, this is working good. I cut up a couple logs last night after I got this to working, and it's a real delight to have those limit switches, because I can just flip the toggle and let her go. So this log is ready to go in the morning, and when I get out, or tomorrow's Sunday, but even when I get back out here, hit the switch, let her fly, and That right there is going to save me a lot of time.